Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and I'm finally able to show off the lightning myself. This actually has been a little bit of time coming. Finally got it and I've been working on it. I do have the B hull upgrade. I don't have the range mod on it. I actually don't know if I'm really going to get it. I'd rather just push toward the Jutland. But I am playing on North. I'm joined with VIII in the Cleveland. And let's actually talk about the Lightning. The British destroyers in general, especially once you get up to the Jervis, in my opinion, so far, are very strong destroyers. Very strong. Even with the fact that their smoke isn't that long lasting, they are very good at what they do. They're excellent at taking out enemy DDs, even causing havoc with cruisers and battleships. Now, starting off, let's actually talk about probably her strongest concept for the Lightning, and that is the 5.5 detect. That is ridiculously crazy right now. Now, one little side note, as I'm actually recording this, I'm actually holding my new kitten. Recently got decided to record even with this kitten because this kitten's been by himself all day, and I figured he needs some love and needs some warmth. Adopted him from outside, so he's currently dealing with fleas, congestion, and eyes, so he needs some little love and a little bit of warmth. So if you do hear a sneeze, that is just due to the fact that this kid is a little sick, and I do apologize. Now, pushing into B, I do have VIII right behind us, and once again, the detect on the Lightning is fantastic, and the Jervis is no slouch either. Jervis is a excellent DD as well, but against a Lightning, and I've noticed this even with against a Jutland and Daring when you're in the Lightning, they are far superior. You definitely feel the difference between those two DDs ahead of you. But unfortunately for this Jervis, he does run aground, and which is really unfortunate to him. Now, unfortunately for this captain, I don't have BFT. And that's another thing you need to keep in mind about these British DDs, is that they are gunboats through and through. Yes, they do have decent range torpedoes, only semi-decent, 8 kilometers. Not much difference between the higher tiers and lower tiers. So you do have the benefit of those torpedoes, as we will be seeing later on. But for the most part, I would almost highly recommend focusing on the guns, because this is really what the Lightning is good at, is her guns. And they are triple turrets, 2 guns each, and one super nice thing is the very back turret can go completely 360. Actually no, better yet, all 3 turrets can go completely 360, as you will see probably a few times, which means that it can easily switch sides whether you are pushing forward or running away. So once again, very good at pushing in and kiting. Now, we are able to at least start capturing C, and once again, very nice thing about her is the detect. But another thing you will probably have noticed is that you can't put on the engine module for the British DDs, and that is obviously due to the fact that she can speed up very quickly, very similar to the British cruisers in a lot of ways. And that can get you out of danger and trouble. Now, right now, I'm actually debating whether or not help D or help A. Currently, the Leningrad is over there, but he obviously has to face off against a DD that we know that's there, obviously, since something's capping it. And at the exact same time, over at the B cap, the enemy battleships are starting to push down, and that is a Massachusetts and 2 Missouri. So we're going to try our very best to try to assist, but unfortunately a Cleveland is going to be our main focus right now. I am trying to be careful because a Cleveland can definitely wreck a destroyer very, very quickly. So that's why I am obviously kind of keeping silent. So as we focus down this Cleveland, I'm actually gonna try my very best to get over there. Now, the speed on the Lightning is kind of mediocre. It's not extremely fast, it's not extremely slow, and you can get around, but don't expect anything amazing because you don't have the engine boost module. You are only reliant on the speed and the power of the engines as it is. So anything else, you will have to try to plan ahead a little bit. You don't have the benefit of that speed module. Now, Massachusetts is pushing out, and keep in mind the kilometer on the torpedoes is 8 kilometers, and you do have the ability of single fire, which can be quite deadly, as we will be seeing with this Massachusetts. So torpedoes are away, and these torpedoes are actually decently hard hitting. Granted, they don't have that range, but they hit pretty darn hard, as this Massachusetts is going to find out. Now, high props to the Musashi here. He does actually a very excellent job trying to hold off against this, as well as the Massachusetts. Both of them do a very fine job trying to deal with the enemy ships there. But this Massachusetts is going to go down. He is going to eat our torpedoes. And look at there, 3 torpedoes. That Massachusetts is now dead. That has given some relief for our battleships currently down there. Unfortunately for VIII, he has attracted the attention of the enemy battleships. And at the exact same time, we have lost our Leningrad. So in just a matter of couple seconds there, we lost 2 ships. And now Missouri is obviously well within range. And we're going to try our very best to at least pull away and try to get a little bit of distance. And that's actually insane how far the Missouri's secondaries can go. Well over 8.5 kilometers there. But we should hopefully get out of the way. We're not actually attracting that much attention. So we're gonna try our very best on setting fires. And that's another nice thing about the Lightning, is she actually has a really good fire chance for her caliber. I believe it is about 9%. But in that time, we have attracted the attention of both the Missouri as well as the Sim that is pushing in. And we're going to go ahead and pop our smoke. Now, once again, the smoke is not there to sit still and just pummel away. That's not what the smoke is designed for. It's solely designed to actually just escape danger, get away, reposition. And it's very strong, because granted, it doesn't offer you a very long protection. It is very strong that it can allow you to escape detection. So pushing out, would like to get rid of the Sims. Massachusetts, actually I'm very curious why he did not ram, but is starting to push in towards B as well as the enemy Sims. Now the Massachusetts has a very quick heal, so it can definitely push in and get a lot of its health back very, very quickly compared to a lot of battleships. But at the moment, things aren't looking very hot for us. The enemy team controls almost 3 caps now. They're about to gain B. I'm trying to think if they do. Yes, they do. Massachusetts is pushing against the Sims. Actually almost dodges torpedoes. Fortunately, it's a Sims and its torpedoes are terrible. And at the exact same time, the Missouri is pushing against our Musashi, and we have just lost our Bliskovica. I'm actually quite curious as to where he was. But the Sims is going to go down fairly quickly. And there we go. We actually got our very first kill. Missouri is very low in health. We're going to definitely focus on him as quickly as possible. Would like to get rid of him. And Musashi from downtown, this Musashi right here that's coming in from the north, does a really fantastic job in this battle. High props to him. Now, gonna go ahead and drop my torpedoes again. And hopefully we'll get a hit, but the Missouri is actually starting to turn in. Now, he is aware that we are currently capping. So if he does have his radar, he will probably pop it. And I really like that name. Let's see if anyone actually recognizes that name. It's actually very funny because I'm currently reading the book series where that name comes from. And obviously we have track to the Missouri. He wants to get his 3rd turret into gear, but unfortunately has let him wide open for these torpedoes. And yeah, I get a little cheeky there with the buy. And that is the 2nd kill of the game that has definitely swung the battle into our favor. But we are down in ships. The enemy team does have 2 destroyers at this moment, and we do know where at least one is. One is currently capping C, but the points aren't actually that far different than what you would assume. Surprisingly, we're actually only 100 points below the enemy team, roughly, and at the exact same time, we actually have 2 battleships off over at D, currently capping it. So things are a little bit interesting. Now I am obviously going to try to push back towards C, at least try to capture it. Musashi is doing his very best against this Fiji. Honestly, I think this Fiji should have just stayed out of D-Tech, but instead he was detected for a while, and the Musashi should hopefully take him out. But unfortunately for us, a wild Cleveland has appeared, and don't exactly know where he might be pushing, so I do go ahead and switch back to the wider spread, hoping to at least maybe get a torpedo hit. Musashi does take out the Fiji, which has brought our points back and also brought the ships number back together as well. But the enemy team still has 2 destroyers, and one of those destroyers is the asshole. It's the Asasio. And this Asasio is going to play kind of an important part a little bit later on, but there's also, I believe, a Z-23, and we have yet to see this Z-23. That's also going to play a very important part here in a moment. And at the exact same time, I'm trying to balance this kitten who really wants to explore. I don't really blame him, but he really wants to explore right now, but it's not making recording particularly easy. Now, yeah, granted, what I'm doing right now against this Cleveland is extremely dangerous, but with the fact that you can't equip the engine module to the Lightning, you can equip obviously the rudder module, which makes the British DDs very agile in the water and very nimble. And here I'm actually going to try to snipe the Cleveland. Do get a fire. He's probably going to rep that very quickly. 43 points of damage right there. Can we get kill number 3? He has knocked out our back gun, and that's another thing about the British destroyers you kind of need to know about, as we have just earned 4 gold haul, a new award that is out at the moment, which means basically killing 4 ships. So one other thing you definitely need to notice is that her guns tend to get knocked out quite easily, even if you have the module. Unfortunately, this captain doesn't have the preventative maintenance on it, so I can't say how much less that does reduce it. Obviously, it reduces a percentile, but still, they seem to get knocked out quite easily, so do keep that in mind whenever battling. Now, AA's not overly impressive, and right now we know where the asshole is. He's obviously over at D. That's kind of a no-brainer. He is going to try to cap it. Unfortunately, he does and is going to take out the enemy Iowa. But this poor Ismo is facing off against the Musashi, and well, the Musashi can just downright overpin the Ismo's armor, and the Ismo is asking for a ram. Yeah, that would be extremely foolish. Extremely foolish right now, but we're actually going to push into C, and more than likely this Asasio is going to actually push north, so that is my plan, and I do something a little gutsy here. Now we are about to kill the Ismo. We know where the asshole is, the Asasio is, but we don't know where the other destroyer is, and at this moment we have no idea. I mean, he could be anywhere, but his presence hasn't been known. Now, I really want to get rid of this Asasio, and I kind of want a Kraken, and I get a little greedy. Now, we have about 5 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, decent amount of time. The Asasio can't hit me with torpedoes, and yeah, if you're gonna guess what I'm about to do, I know I probably shouldn't have done this, but it does prove beneficial here in a moment. I leave the cap, and someone on the friendly team is going to be a little annoyed at the fact that I did that, but we know where the Asasio is. We know where he's at. He's right there. He's spotting the lion, who is fortunately telling us that he is obviously spotted. So we're gonna push in, try to get a Kraken. I know, I get a little greedy here. I will say this is greed happening right now. And obviously there is the Asasio. And the Asasio is it's a very too specialized. That's what I would call it. It's very specialized. It does definitely struggle against taking out enemy DDs. It has semi-decent guns. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it does have semi-decent guns. But at the moment, you can actually tell that we're being spotted, which means there's another destroyer around, because obviously the smoke cloud is in our way. So we do pop the Hydro. The Hydro is not particularly impressive. It's only 3 kilometers. Its most usefulness is being able to spot torpedoes, which the Asasio has obviously is dropping torpedoes towards us. And the Lion is a little annoyed, and I pretty much said I wanted more time. Like, I'm aware that we could easily win this, because there's only 2 destroyers left. Granted, we don't know where the Z-23 is, and we kind of know where the Asasio is, and there he is. Lo and behold, let's get rid of this Asasio. And once again, the British DDs do a fantastic job taking out enemy DDs. Now, unfortunately, as far as I can tell, the Lightning does not have the semi-armor piercing that higher tiers have. But there we go, Kraken Unleashed, and we are doing well. Only 1 ship left on the team. Masashi's capping A, and I get a little greedy again, I will fully admit. We know at least that we are spotted, so he has to be up north. So going back to the guns, Jutland and Daring, I believe, have the special type of armor piercing, and yeah, once again, I'm just gonna leave cap. Might as well. We know where the enemy DD is. I believe the friendly, I believe the Ismo actually points out that he is AFK. And the Lion's actually currently asking to cap C. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. That's fine. I'm not going to kill him. So we kind of know where he's at. And once again, the detect on the Lightning is just super fantastic. I would almost say it's a little OP, especially considering it's a gunboat. Jervis is spotted. Oh, I do apologize. It was actually a Jervis. Jervis is spotted, doing a little bit of damage. It looks like the Masashi is actually going to try to help. Thought about torpedoes, but guns are fine. Guns will do the job. It doesn't look like this Jervis is going to wake up anytime soon. Keep in mind, this Jervis has been AFK for about 18 minutes now. So unless something terribly, terrible has happened, I don't think he's coming back. So once again, Lion is asking for the cap. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. He says about 10 seconds, and there we go. Basashi actually opens up, misses almost completely there, but this Jervis is going to go down to us as soon as the line caps out, being a good teammate, allowing him to get the XP and points and money from that. But right there, that is kill number 6. Very nice job. So as you can see, we earned a victory, brought home 462,395 silver, 14,855 XP. We earned Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, and 4 gold haul, I believe it is. I don't know this new one. 118,789 points of damage, 162 shell hits, 7 torpedo hits, 6 kills, 6 fires, 3 floodings, 2 captured base, and 4 spotting. We're at the top of the team with a base XP of 2,941, almost made 3,000. That would have been nice. Most of our damage came from the battleships, especially against the destroyers. We earned quite a bit there, where percentile damage is very, very lucrative. So always go after DDs. They give you the most amount of XP and silver. Just never go out after DDs when I'm a DD, please. I ask. Anyways, as far as damage wise, you can see our HE, we did around 50,284. Not saying that AP is not valuable, but HE, you don't have, as far as I can tell and as far as I know, you don't have the semi-armor piercing. I'm sure someone will let me know down in the comments if I'm completely wrong. Torpedoes did 51,890. Our fires did around 16,615, which is overly not too bad. And we brought home 346,181 silver. And we're going to go ahead and jump into port, and we'll take a look at it there. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to the port. And yeah, I like the Lightning. The Lightning, just like the Jervis, are very strong TDs. And if you are looking for a line that's, especially those that enjoy DDs, highly recommend this line. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. So starting off, survivability 15,900, armor 19 millimeters. I mean, nothing extravagant. It is a destroyer, so health pool semi-decent. It's kind of middle of the road, nothing overly impressive. Guns, you do have 3 dual 120 millimeters. They do have a 4.5 second reload time. Definitely a little bit slower than the Benson. This obviously does not have the basics firing training, so you don't get that boost, but Benson, even without it, can still beat the Lightning. So Benson can definitely pummel you a little bit quickly than you can it. As far as range, 11.1 kilometers. HE, you have 1,700, but once again, the fire chance on this is pretty decent for a destroyer. 9% fire chance. APs, overall, not too bad. Nothing too overly impressive, 2,200. And the arcing of the shells, that's actually probably something I should mention, is at range, you definitely have that USN DD type of arcing. So you're more likely to hit battleships and some slow cruisers than you are obviously at hitting destroyers at long range. So do keep in mind, overall, the guns are not bad. Basics firing training is a huge help here, and I honestly don't consider the additional range that beneficial, because once again, the only things you're really able to hit are going to be battleships. Torpedoes they're alright. As I did mention, range is not overly impressive, 8 kilometers, but they do hit pretty hard, 15,867. They have a semi-decent reload time, 96 seconds, and they are fairly speedy in the waters, 61 knots for its tier at least. So you do have semi-decent torpedoes, and you do have the ability of single fire. AA defense, once again, not overly impressive. Let's see, you do have 37, average damage 14, 13, and then main guns offer additional support, but once again, nothing too overly impressive, but you can at least use them to shoot down planes if you haven't lost them. So they're always there for additional support, but don't rely on them too much. And now we come to probably the second most important thing, is maneuverability. Her max speed is actually decent, 37.8 kilometers, but you don't have the speed boost. So always keep that in mind. You are always stuck at that rate of speed. You do have the British style of turn, where you don't lose speed in the turn as you normally do. However, once you take out of that turn, you will start to lose speed then, but you'll get it back fairly quickly, because once again, this is the British destroyer line where they have a very quick acceleration. Turning circle radius is super decent, 590 meters, makes it very tight turns, and the rudder shift time, once again, is impressive, 3 seconds. Does allow you to be a little bit more nimble. Is probably nothing compared to the Benson. I believe the Benson has around 1 or 2 seconds if memory serves me, but still respectable all the same. Now, the most important thing is her detect, 5.5. That's absolutely insane, especially for a gunboat. Makes her very strong against destroyers of her tier. Detectability range by air is only 3.1 kilometers, and while firing smoke is 2.5. So you do have about 500 meter buffer between your radar and it being detected in smoke. Nothing too overly impressive, but it gives you a slight edge that you can definitely take advantage with. Now, as far as what I would recommend upgrading her, definitely get the B-hole. Once again, this reduces your rudder shift time. It gives you additional health. I would say the range module is optional. It gives you 1.1 additional kilometer range, making it 12.2 kilometers. It is optional. I don't go for it because I just rather much get the Jutland than getting this additional range. But I would recommend keeping the ship. So if you do that, get the range. It's going to help in the long run. I just opted out for it because I just want to get the Jutland. That's all. As far as upgrades, very basics. Main arms mod 1, main propulsion mod 1, aiming system mod 1, steering gears mod 2. Once again, you do not have the engine upgrade, so don't even try for it. You can't even get it. And last but not least, Concealment System Modification 1 makes her extremely stealthy. Going to the consumables, she is the second destroyer in the game so far to have hydro, but it's not the German hydro that you are well aware of, only 3 kilometers. Decent amount of time, 3 minutes, nothing too overly impressive. And last but not least, the smoke. The smoke is pretty much, as I have mentioned in almost every British DD video, your get out of jail free card. This is only designed to get you out of a situation that you find yourself in, which you should have probably not been in. The duration on the smoke is not very long, only 40 seconds, and the reload time is pretty quick, 70 seconds, so you only have about 10 seconds of cooldown between your last puff of smoke and when it is back up. As far as the captain is still being worked on. He is almost a 16-point captain. I've been putting on a lot of flags and camo just to get this captain up and going as quickly as possible. Priority target, this is my personal opinion. I just enjoy this skill. Definitely, you probably get rid of expert marksman. This is probably going to go away. This is a remnant from the previous British DDs that I was running. Definitely get rid of that and use it into a different skill. Obviously, last stand, always want to go for last stand. Adrenaline rush is extremely beneficial. Superintendent, it could be definitely possibly knocked off. You do go through your smokes pretty quickly. Having that extra charge is beneficial, but some battles I find that I don't even use all my charges, so you could weigh the risk whether or not you actually want to go for superintendent. Then obviously concealment expert, as always. BFT is going to be extremely beneficial. I don't think IFHE is going to be that beneficial for this storyline. Would not recommend it. I would almost say survivability expert would be very strong and makes you a lot more capable, especially in the Jutland and Daring. So that's definitely one area of focus you can go towards. But this is going to be it for this video. A quick overlook at the lightning. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.